Hi dear Cancers, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about the transits for the month of December. December should be relatively peaceful because we don't have any eclipses, and it's been a month and a half since the last eclipse, so that means the dust has settled by now. But December still has a bit of a complication, so to speak, and that is Mercury retrograde. As you guys know, Mercury retrograde is a time when we face frustration in our daily routine, be it like delays in transportation, forgetting things, miscommunication, misunderstanding, all of that stuff. And that is coming up in December. So guys, be prepared. And Cancers especially, this is can be important for you because the retrograde will start in your 7th house of relationships. So there might be some things that you will have to review, something you have to go back to in your relationships. And I'm assuming it's mostly about like communication because it's Mercury. Okay, so let's begin by the outer planet transits. Cancers, you guys have had Pluto in your opposite sign for 15 years now, which is a long time. And the thing is, Pluto is getting ready to leave Capricorn and enter Aquarius in January 2024. So right now, Pluto is in the last degrees of Capricorn, which means those Cancers who were born in the late degrees of Cancer, or those of you who have your rising sign in the late degrees of Cancer, that means you are experiencing Pluto opposition. And that can be challenging, honestly, because Pluto, he just removes things that are not supposed to be there anymore, and sometimes that includes people, right? Toxic relationships and stuff, or like experiencing transformative period in your relationships. And Pluto is also the planet of empowerment, so maybe for some this is actually a time when your partner is becoming more powerful, like more empowered. Yeah, so it's not all too bad, but just be aware that you might be experiencing this transit. Make sure you check your chart. But like other than that, those Cancers who were born in the early degrees of Cancer, who don't have any planets in the late degrees of Cancer, you guys are done with the Pluto transit. The thing about Pluto is that it's such a slow-moving planet, and it's so far away from the sun that its aspects affect us only when it's an exact aspect, like degree to degree. But when it moves out of that degree, the influence of the transit tends to fall. Okay, so anyway, now Neptune. Neptune has been in Pisces for a decade now, and Cancers, for you, that is your 9th house. 9th house is our personal beliefs, like our philosophy. It's like how we interpret the world, like our outlook on the world. This might seem very vague, but like it's really about the big picture, like the ideals that we have. Yeah, and so those are 9th house matters, and Neptune has been in there dissolving probably some of those old beliefs, and maybe confusing you about your beliefs, like what do I believe in, what is my philosophy. But also Neptune on a positive side, it can be that like it's giving you like inspiration, divine inspiration, yeah, like more spiritual attitude. But again, Neptune, like Pluto, is a slow-moving planet, so it affects us only when it's making an exact aspect. And Cancers, for you, that would be a trine aspect. So right now, Neptune is in the late degrees of Pisces, so that means Cancers who are born in the late degrees of Cancer, those who were born in like mid-July, I would say like July 18th, 19th, 20th, you guys are going to feel this helpful trine aspect from Neptune. You guys seem to be quite busy. You are experiencing both Pluto and Neptune, and Uranus as well, but we'll get to that. So yeah, speaking of Uranus, after Neptune we have Uranus, and right now Uranus is in Taurus. It has been in there for 5 years, and it's got 2 more years to go. And so Cancers, for you, that is your 11th house. 11th house is the house of friendships. It's the house of like-minded people. That's the house where we network. So that means the presence of Uranus means that for the past 5 years, your friendships have probably gotten like more exciting, because Uranus is very exciting. It's the planet of surprises after all. So you might have become friends with people who are very original, or people who you never thought you would be friends with. Uranus can bring that type of a friend, okay? And what else? You also experienced eclipses in that area recently involving Uranus, and right now we have Jupiter in Taurus as well. So you got a lot of things going on in your friendships area. Especially with the presence of Jupiter, it tends to increase the number of friends. Yeah, so these are probably very social times for you guys, Cancers. Even though normally you guys prefer to hang out at home, but perhaps maybe you invite your friends more often these days to spend time at home, like for dinners and stuff. But anyway, so after Uranus, we have Saturn, and Saturn is in Pisces right now in the very early degrees. It has just stopped retrograding, and so for you, Cancers, Pisces, that would be your ninth house, and you already have Neptune in that house. But the thing is, Neptune is in the late degrees, while Saturn is like at the very beginning of Pisces. So it is still like quite a long way for their conjunction. But anyway, now that you have Saturn in your ninth house, it can be that like I don't know, you'll become skeptical of beliefs because Saturn, after all, is the planet of restrictions. And maybe you become like a bit more pessimistic because normally ninth house is a house of optimism, but Saturn brings sobriety, like a sober mind. The thing about the ninth house is we can be a bit overly optimistic, like yeah, overestimate things. But Saturn brings like a sober reality, a reality check. So that is one of the possible interpretations. Also, might be that like you don't travel as much while Saturn is in your ninth house, or if you do travel, it might be like work related, or it might feel as though I don't know, it's hard for you to relax while on vacation. But it doesn't mean you won't go on vacations, obviously. But anyway, actually, with the presence of Neptune, you have probably been going to really nice places by the sea. Like if you have not done so, I would recommend it. And so yeah, and that Saturn in Pisces, like at the time of me recording this, the stuff that is going on in the world, like it's very, very sad, and that is like very Saturn in Pisces themes. Saturn is like restriction and karma. Pisces is a sign of religion, and as you can see, there are like clashes based on religious beliefs and stuff. Like, yeah, so hopefully all of that calms down soon. Yeah, so anyway, so after Saturn, we have Jupiter, and I've already talked about Jupiter in your 11th house. And now, after Jupiter, we have Mars, which is considered an inner planet. And now I'm going to talk about the inner planets in this part of the video. So on December 3rd, we have Mercury entering Capricorn until February 5th, until February 5th, 2024. And as you can see, it's almost like 3 months, which is an unusually long time for Mercury, which usually sprints through signs within like 3 weeks, barely 3 weeks, but now it's going to spend 3 months. And that is because of the retrograde motion. So that retrograde, for now, Mercury, it's going to enter your 7th house of relationships. Okay, so, and as you know, Cancers, December is the time when the focus shifts from your work, which is your 6th house, Sagittarius, to relationship stuff after the Sun enters Capricorn. So as you can see, the more planets move into Capricorn, start lining up in Capricorn, the more your focus starts shifting towards relationships. And Mercury's entry into Capricorn marks one of those beginnings, okay? So when you start communicating more about relationships. But by the time Mercury starts stationing retrograde, you will start noticing that there are some things that are unresolved, and you have to go back and redo it, review it, like reevaluate it. And sometimes Mercury retrograde can be actually a good thing because you are given opportunity to fix it, okay? So yeah, even though Mercury retrograde causes a lot of headache, a lot of frustrations and annoyances, but still, sometimes it gives us an opportunity to redo things. And so, what else? Um, on December, Mercury's entry into Capricorn was December 1st. I can kind of confused it in this light. Yeah, December 3rd is when we have Venus in Libra making a square aspect to Capricorn and Pluto. So this one can be either about finances, because Venus rules finances and Pluto is also a financial planet. And so it can be like clashes regarding finances, like power plays, like power issues, because Pluto is very much power. Or another possible interpretation is that it can be like something love related, relationship related. Think of Pluto as like I don't know, a volcano, like this massive energy erupting, and when we have Venus involved in that, it can be like relationships, like volcanic eruption, all the things that you've been like putting up with, and suddenly you're like, you know what, enough. But I'm not saying that this is the kind of like aspect that causes breakups or anything. No, no, no. Like it's just this aspect is active for only like 3 days maximum. So don't worry, okay? And next, after that, on December 4th, Venus is going to enter Scorpio until December 29th, 2023. When Venus enters Scorpio, things get a bit more serious. In Libra, Venus was flirtatious, lighthearted, sociable, but when it enters Scorpio, things kind of get serious. And now, like, imagine you and your partner just one-on-one, and things get real. Venus in Scorpio is a type of relationship, in the stage of the relationship where you are already sharing things, like sharing a bank account, sharing your most hidden secrets with your partner, secret desires and stuff like that, dependency, like sharing resources. Those things are Scorpio themes. And so when Venus enters Scorpio, these things actually become easier, because, you know, Venus is the diplomat. She balances things out. So sharing resources should become easier. Getting more intimate should become easier. Yeah, like, and things get more serious. Yeah, let's just put it that way. When Venus is in Scorpio, things get serious to the point like of obsession even, because Scorpio is an extreme sign. But I'm not saying this will happen to you. This transit happens every year. I'm just like describing the general transit. So after that, on December 5th, we have the last quarter moon in Virgo. This marks the beginning of a week where the moon starts getting smaller and smaller until it disappears before the new moon. And so it's not a great time to start anything new. And that means don't waste your energy trying to do things. Instead, use this time to wrap things up that started with the previous new moon and get ready for the upcoming new moon. Like, for example, you start filling out applications and you mail it so that it's delivered by the time of the new moon. Or like you want to rent an apartment, so you fill out the application, and by the time of the new moon it's approved, so you are ready to move. You get the idea. And also, it's a great time for rest, to recharge, because the new moon brings new energy, new focus. So naturally, this is a time when you get like recharged. Okay. Next, on December 6th, we have like a Neptune stationing direct on the 24th degree of Pisces. And dear Cancers, that is your 9th house. And Neptune rules like our illusions, spirituality, inspiration, like divine inspiration, illusions, creativity, like intuition, even clairvoyance, stuff like that. So when Neptune stations direct and starts moving forward, there's this like, when you understand something finally, something that you've been confused about, which is a pretty much Neptune theme, and now you're like, aha, like now things make more sense, like in a very subtle way. Don't expect Neptune to be very, very obvious. This will happen to you without even you realizing it, probably. So, yeah, next, where is it? On December 12th, a week after Neptune stations direct, roughly a week, we have a new moon in Sagittarius on the 20th degree of Sagittarius. And for you, dear Cancers, this is your 6th house. Yeah, so when we have a new moon in the sixth house, you can expect some news, announcements, decisions regarding your job. Like maybe you'll be given a new project at work, or maybe you'll be given, I don't know, a bonus, I don't know, maybe a new coworker, maybe a new promotion. Yeah, even though for financial stuff I would look at the second house, but still, since it's an earth house, it can be, right? Because at the end of the year, the companies sometimes they pay bonuses. So, but yeah, when we have a new moon in this sixth house, and also it can be about pets, because the sixth house not only rules our work routine, but it also rules our pets. Yeah, so some might get a new pet, or maybe some news about your pet. What else? The sixth house also rules our health, so this can be a great time to go for your annual health check. Yeah, and I wouldn't say there's a reason to worry. Like this new moon happens every year in your sixth house. Okay, and next. So after this new moon, on December 13th, we have Mercury stationing retrograde on the 8th degree of Capricorn. So those cancers who were born like in late June, you are going to feel this stationing retrograde, especially like strongly compared to other cancers. And now the thing about this Mercury retrograde in December is that if you are thinking of buying an electronics stuff uh, for Christmas gift, I would say buy it as soon as possible in November. Because when you buy such things during Mercury retrograde, there is like a chance that it might malfunction or break down, like or break sooner than it's supposed to. So make sure you, even if you have to buy it in December, because we have to wait for paychecks and stuff. Even if you have to wait for it, make sure you either keep the receipt or make sure you can exchange it or return it like later, because you never know with Mercury. Okay, and what else? So Mercury retrograde, it's going to last until January 1st, roughly like 3 weeks. And the thing about Mercury retrograde, it can cause like flight delays, and in December we have those holidays where a lot of people travel. So if you are thinking of traveling in December, just know that it is highly likely that there will be flight delays and stuff. So plan accordingly, okay? Like have a plan B, just in case. And then what else? You can get lost a lot even when you have your own Google Maps and stuff, like, but still even Google Maps will like malfunction can malfunction when Mercury is retrograde. So try to double check things, make sure you attach the file to your email, or make sure you are sending it to the person and not like to the entire company and stuff. Yeah, those things happen when Mercury is in retrograde. And the thing is, Mercury is at its peak confusing at the time it's about to turn retrograde or when it's about to turn direct. Yeah, so basically when it's changing directions. So middle of December, get ready, okay? And after that, we have like quiet skies, so to speak, until December 21st, when we have winter solstice. Yay! The sun is going to enter Capricorn. And so winter solstice, the longest night of the year, I find it very optimistic because the days start getting longer after that. Yeah, like, I don't know why, but I find that optimistic. Next. So the sun enters Capricorn, your seventh house. The shift, the focus will shift towards your relationships, one-on-one partnerships. It will be easier for you to relate others. You kind of like focus more on your partner than on yourself. I'm not saying that you are like selfish or anything, but it's just when the sun is in your seventh house, that's where your most focus is. Next, on December 23rd, Mercury retrograde is going to re-enter Sagittarius. So the rest of the retrograde is going to be in your sixth house, starting from December 23rd, so for about a week. And so the retrograde is going to start in your relationship house, but it's going to finish in your sixth house. So it's going to start with relationships, but then it's going to and with work stuff. So you might have to redo something or go back to something regarding your job. Okay, like there is this theme, like redoing, like reviewing. Mm, After that, on December 26th, we have a full moon in Cancer, on the fourth degree of Cancer. And Cancers, this is your full moon. We only get one full moon per year, so this is important. And this is especially important for Cancers who were born around June 25th. Yeah. So, full moons are the times of culminations, illuminations, achievements. Okay, and this full moon is very much focused on your relationship with yourself and with others, because the moon is in your first house and the sun is shining on your in your house of relationships. So the luminary is lighting up your relationship area, me and others. So these themes will be prominent. So there might be some sort of like maybe personal achievement of some sort, because full moon is like culmination, achievement. um, that's like when the emotions are full. And also be aware, like during full moons, like everybody's emotional, and since this full moon is in Cancer, moon ruled signs, this is like extra emotional. So instead of being sad, Cancers, try to watch your favorite movie, like eat your comfort food. Okay. um, Next, on the same day, as the full moon, on December 26th, we have Chiron stationing direct on the same day, okay? I mean, as the full moon, on the 15th degree. So, Chiron is a wounded healer, and when it turns direct, we find some like healing, I guess. And for you Cancers, this is your 10th house. So, some sort of healing regarding your career or maybe social status, maybe life purpose, one of those areas. And it will be subtle, because Chiron, even though yes we can feel it, but it's an asteroid. It's not something that is going to turn your life like upside down or make huge transformations, but still, like in a subtle way, you'll find you'll experience healing in that area. And next, on December 29th, we have Venus entering Sagittarius until January 23rd, 2024. And now, this one is interesting because we had that Venus in Scorpio, right? Where everything was serious, everything was like heavy, emotional. Imagine like walking through water, like really difficult, like slow motion almost. But when Venus leaves Scorpio and enters Sagittarius, now Venus is like, I don't know, like got all of that emotional stuff, and now she wants lightness again. So when she's in Sagittarius, Venus wants to party, like she wants to go on adventures, like try new things, like exotic things. So yeah, Venus in Sagittarius always makes me think of like boho style, like hippie style. So yeah, like Venus adopts that attitude basically. So after December 29th, love should feel a little bit more light. And Cancers, this when Venus enters Sagittarius, that will be your sixth house. So after that, after December 29th until like January 23rd, work should feel pleasant, because wherever Venus is, things are smooth, harmonious, we get along with others easily. So yeah, January should be pleasant at work. Next, on December 30th, Jupiter stations direct on the 5th degree of Taurus, and that is your 11th house. So when Jupiter stations direct, we like friendship matters tend to move forward. Yeah, like what was it, like luck? Yeah. So personal beliefs, like I'm sorry, it's like I'm recording this at night, I'm forgetting some of the stuff. And so basically, when Jupiter stations direct, we will have only two planets left in retrograde. That is Uranus and what is it? Uranus and Mercury. Yeah. And Mercury is a personal planet, so we are going to feel the retrograde motion like very much. It's going to affect our routine. But otherwise, we have only two planets retrograde, and which is good, which means like few things are holding us back. And in 2024, I think in February we will have like all planets direct, and that's when the fun will begin. Yeah. So Cancers, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in my January video. Bye.